Hey, baby.
Alternative gonna give you what you asking for. Naturally yours, but educate the most. Hottest in the game, here to put you on. Come learn this business, welcome to Twinness. Alternative gonna give you what you asking for. Naturally yours, but educate the most. Hottest in the game, here to put you on. Come learn this business, welcome to Twinness. But glad you're tuning in on the latest tip. Alternative salon, keep your head lit. And naturally yours got your custom fit. T-shirt Vincent Niqi, keep your wig drip. TNT, double up the impact on the Twinness. Hottest hairstylist in the business. Keeping topics fresh for your listening. Black owned woman independent. Like fishes hold it down on your imaging. Whether professional or apprenticeship. Showing culture love just to get you right. Black is beautiful, always shining bright. Alternative gonna give you what you asking for. Naturally yours, but educate the most. Hottest in the game, here to put you on. Come learn this business, welcome to Twinness. Alternative gonna give you what you asking for. Naturally yours, but educate the most. Hottest in the game, here to put you on. Come learn this business, welcome to Twinness.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Tisha McDonald here. I probably will be speaking most of the time to conserve Tanika's energy. This is Tanika, naturally yours. She's not feeling well today, guys. She's not feeling well today.
But
Let
I
me do
can't
some,
speak. I can't
but she
speak.
can speak. Yes, yes, yes. Let me do some house cleaning before we get started. Um, One, I don't know what's going on with my Facebook feed, but Tanika gets most of the messages. When you guys send messages through Twinness, my sister seems to get the messages and not me. So she's been responding for me. But if you need to contact Tisha at Alternatives, my number is 570-424-2900. And a lot of times Facebook will confuse my sister and I anyway because our faces are so similar. Sometimes her stuff comes up in my feed from years ago, like this is what happened 5 years ago, and it's actually my sister's stuff. So Facebook gets our faces mixed up. So I don't get, sometimes I get her stuff and sometimes she gets my stuff. The joys of being a twin. Um, and so if you have questions about my services and my products and stuff like that, again, my number is 570-424-2900. And if you have questions about Tanika's products and services, her number is 205-222-6895. And please don't think that I'm not answering your Facebook messages. I'm not getting them on my end, but Tanika gets them and she refers them back to me and says, Tisha, can you reach out to XYZ? So I just
You
wanted
need
to,
to put the website in the chat,
okay, yes.
like your
Right.
website and my
And
website.
you know what I also need to do is on the ticker, I used to have our phone numbers there. Okay, so let's get into it. Let me just type this in. Okay. Okay. And
Well,
naturally.
guys, I hope y'all are having a great weekend. It's Labor Day weekend. I know a lot of y'all are out watching football. If the football season has kicked off this weekend, so I know a lot of y'all are enjoying that. And enjoy your weekend. All the barbecue, all that good stuff. Praying for the people in New Orleans. They still don't have any power. So, there's a lot to complain about, but there's a lot to be thankful for. Y'all know I have COVID. I tested positive. I'm grateful that I'm not bad like some people have. And I do have an idea of where I may have contracted it from. My most important thing is keeping my children safe. So,
So, Tanika, I know we're trying to conserve your energy, but let's talk about two things. One, how did you figure that you may have had COVID? Like, what made you decide to go to the doctor?
Well, we're anemic, and I'm severe anemic, and so, excuse me, I could not. I was cold. I was just chilly, chilly, chilly. I just couldn't get warm. I said, well, maybe it's my anemia acting up, or possibly the flu, or something like that. But I said, okay, let me just go get checked just in case it's something more. My symptoms were so minor that you wouldn't even think that I had COVID. So when I went to the doctor, because I had a low grade fever, so low grade, y'all, is anything below 100 degrees. And I was like, well, I'm not really running a fever, So I went to the doctor anyway, a jack in the box. And they tested me right then, and they said I had the COVID virus. I wasn't really shocked. I've never been afraid of COVID. And I really said that I'm my mother's child, for real, because she's always been very strong and you would never know what's going on with her. We didn't know even up until the end. And so, because I have a daughter with special needs, I'm the sole care provider. I don't have time to be down. So, my biggest thing is just keeping her safe. Um, so when they gave me the diagnosis of the COVID, I wasn't worried or stressed because God hasn't given us the spirit of fear. I know some people feel like, well, you got to be common sense and stuff like that. But the beautiful thing about it for me is that I've never had the vaccine, and now my body is building its own antibodies. The other beautiful thing is that it's been almost 2 years and I've been COVID free. So I'm happy that my body is building up its own immune system against this disease. And even if it happens to fall on my kids, their system will build up. So it's important for you to know your body. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Know your body. I'm taking a lot of vitamins. I always dope my daughter up on vitamins, vitamin C, zinc, echinacea, vitamin D, and magnesium. So make sure that you know your body and get checked, even if it's a minor symptom. Like yesterday, I was a whirlwind. I was all around the place. I was cleaning up, knitted a blanket. I was good to go. Today, I'm back to the chills. So I'm just waiting to see, and I'm monitoring day by day how this thing affects me. I think the thing that gets me most about COVID right now is the brain fog. Usually I can multitask, but I can't. I have to focus on one thing at a time because I see that I get very foggy and even my days get mixed up. So it's like, okay, I have to get on track. I have to look at a calendar, make sure, like, okay, today is Sunday, tomorrow's Monday. I have to be very focused on what it is I'm doing.
Very methodical, very methodical.
Mhm.
And I want to say, I'm trying to conserve your energy because I know right after this, Tanika's going to lay down. So we're not going to stay on very long today so she could get back in bed and get her rest. Because while Rain is taking her nap, Tanika should be napping. Um, one thing we always get is the twinness vibe. So Tanika wasn't feeling well. And for me, I kept saying, I have such a stiff neck. Like, why is my neck so stiff? Like, my neck was so stiff that I almost felt like I had arthritis in my neck. And then I just had a severe, severe headache. As soon as I got to the salon, I took 2 aspirin, but no sooner than 4 hours, no later than 4 hours, I was taking 2 more aspirin, and that just stuck with me. And I was like, I don't know if this is a symptom, a vibe, because I hear that when you have COVID, you have body aches and stuff like that. And so I'm like, okay, my sister's not feeling well, but why am I, having such a stiff, stiff, stiff neck? It's loosened up quite a bit now, but it was very stiff. So for you guys asking, oh, did you feel her pain? I felt it in a different way. I felt it like, why am I so stiff? Why do I have such a bad headache? And I was telling my sister as I was driving to work, like, I really don't feel, this doesn't feel good. And as soon as I get to work, I'm going to take something for it. So that's how it affected me on the other side. And for me right now, I'm extremely tired. However, I don't have a reason to be tired because last week I was off 4 days. So I really was calm in what I was doing, even on my days off. So I don't know why I'm so tired. I shouldn't be as tired as I am. But I think I might be feeling the remnants of what Tanika's feeling. But definitely the same day, Tanika was diagnosed, I definitely had the stiff neck and I had the headache. It just would not leave. It was right in the back, and I couldn't take enough for it.
Mhm.
So, like Tanika was saying, she's now at home, a single parent, and she has COVID. What does she do? She has a special needs baby who needs her attention, but she cannot. She's doesn't want to make her, ill. So, talk to us about that, Niqi.
So I just go in and do the basics. I can't get no snuggling love. So what I do, if she needs to be changed, change or get out. And I'm double masked the whole time. If she needs to be fed, feed her, get out, double mask. Washing my hands, of course. Try not to breathe on her, try not to kiss her. But Rain gets very, very fussy sometime at night. And so she's used to me laying with her. So what I'll do, I'll lay head to toe and just lay my arm across her feet so she knows that I'm there, but I can't be breathing in her face. As soon as she goes to sleep, then I'm out of there. I make sure I Lysol, microban. I'm doing everything I can to keep her safe. So it is a big deal. I was thankful one of my friends did drop by some apple juice for her because I was like, that's the only thing I'm afraid I'm going to run out of before Tuesday or Wednesday. So she just dropped it on the doorstep. And so I'm thankful for her. But my son is really good. We're helping out too. I'll call him on the phone, even though we're in the house. I'll be like, hey, Cordell, could you do this for Rain? Could you do that for Rain? So it's good that he's here as well. And I try to stay away from him. Be like, hey, look, stay away from me. Love you.
And
Beat
for
it.
y'all that don't know, Cordell is 15 years old. So
16.
he's 16 years old, sorry. So he's very able to help take care of Rain. And not only that, he knows about COVID, so he knows he cannot be around his mom. So that's a plus of having a teenager in the house.
The schools here are like, if the kids are not, even though I have COVID, if they're not showing symptoms, excuse me, if they're not showing symptoms, I could send them to school. But I feel like if they're going to get COVID, I'd rather them get it where I know they got it from, which would be me. I don't want to send them to school and don't know if they got it on the bus, if they got it in the classroom, the bathroom, who knows where they would get it at school. So I can monitor them better here. At the same time, I should send their little butts to school so that I can get the proper rest that I need. But I just want to make sure that they're okay.
But it's also responsible for you to not send them knowing that you have the symptoms and not knowing if they're carriers. So it's more
Exactly.
responsible for you as a parent to keep them home and say,
Exactly.
look, we're going to quarantine together, you know.
That's what the doctor said,
Mhm.
but the CDC and the school board says otherwise. They say if they're not showing symptoms, send them to school. But they're going to be home with me. They're going to be home. And Cordell is more than happy to be home for another 10 days.
Gotta love it. Well, you're watching the Twin Nest. Tanika has come down with COVID. We're not going to stay on very long. She wanted to do it for 30 minutes, but I don't think so. I think we're going to cut that shorter.
No, we don't have to. You know why? Because it's important, one, for you to, if you come down with this. I'm very fortunate. I'm very grateful. I'm going to tell y'all why, because I was working out. Y'all already know that builds up your immune system. So I take my vitamins that builds up your immune system. Eating well, y'all know I don't eat well all the time, but that builds up your immune system. Knowing your body, getting it checked, even if it's a small thing. Now, I'm gonna just put this out, but one of my coworkers, she's had some symptoms, but because she doesn't have health insurance, that's an issue. She's scared to get tested because it's going to cost a lot of money, and so it's possible that I got it from her. And then when fortunately, I have insurance, and then when I look at that, how much my copay was and how much my prescriptions were, I could understand her situation. And there might be many people like that don't have insurance. So that's why I don't mind talking a little bit. So just knowing your body, getting checked if you can, if it's possible. And I'm just grateful that I'm strong and healthy. Like my situation is not a bad situation, because it could be a worse turnout from what other people have experienced. So I am
And
monitoring
at what
every day.
point do they recommend you go to the hospital? Because, like, now you went to the hospital, you were diagnosed, they sent you home, they gave you some antibiotics. Um, at what point would one, not you, need to go
Well,
to the hospital?
The doctor would determine that. I went to a Jack in the Box. My doctor is at a Jack in the Box, so I could just walk in, say I want to see my doctor, and that was what I did. But my O2 sats, that's what's the major thing. So your oxygen levels is what really is affected by COVID, 100% on my O2 sats. So my breathing is fine, and that's a blessing. And that's what I keep watching for. So like I told you this morning, I did do some little arm exercises, to keep those lungs open and wide. So that's what they're going to be watching for with COVID is your O2 sats. And I think I might have went in early enough, like right at the beginning of as soon as I knew, that I wasn't feeling well. I think if I would have waited longer, it might have been more detrimental.
Like you said, and thank you guys for watching. You are watching The Twinness with Tisha and Tanika. As you know, Tanika has been diagnosed with COVID. It was something that was so minor. She just didn't feel right. She just felt achy. She just felt, she didn't feel right. And it was to a point, the day before we had spoken, and she was like, maybe it's my womanly thing. But then the next day she felt even worse. So that's what made her go in. And so you're watching The Twinness, and this is Tisha and Tanika, and I want to say thank you for joining us. I wanted her to talk about what her experience has been so far. It's been 2 days now, and right now, just to recap, she's saying that she's had a lot of brain fog so far, a lot of chills so far, but then she's been drinking a lot of hot toddies. But she's also vitamined up and stuff like that. How you doing, LP? So continue, Niqi.
So I did have to be honest with my clients. I had to be honest with my boss. Well, both my supervisor at work. I had to send her a copy of my test results and my return to work date. I'm going to have to do the same thing for my children for their schools. I also did the same for my boss at Randall's Grooming Lounge. I know I work inside of a barbershop, so I had to let him know, and he had my room sanitized as soon as I told him. I had to let my clients know. I had to rebook them because my clients have been very good to me and been very honest with me when they have to cancel appointments because they might have been exposed to COVID. And I have to show the same respect and integrity in my business. So I had to let them know and reschedule them. So it's just about taking care of yourself and taking care of others around you and, being safe.
Okay. So I don't know that there's anything more um, that we can say because it's day two. I don't know how long this is supposed to last, or it's something different for everybody. Some people, like the client that I had yesterday, she had COVID, didn't even know it. It left her body within 24 hours because when she was younger, she had malaria. So the COVID came to her body, and they were like, "Oh, we can't attack her. The malaria is stronger than the COVID." So her body already had built the immunity, and so she only had it 24 hours. And then you have the others, which are the extreme cases that we've heard, that's in a hospital for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
So everybody's different.
Pre-existing conditions and things like that. And that's why I try to stay away from my daughter because she has already pre-existing conditions and I can't afford to be in the hospital with her and still have my son as well. So just being vigilant on hand washing, sanitizer, microban, Lysol, and I'm just really, really grateful. Like I said before, it's took taking this long for me to get it. Never feared getting it. And now it's here. So my body's going to build up the immunity, and maybe my babies are building up immunity as well. Who knows?
That's right. And like she said, she already keeps her children on vitamins, et cetera, to keep their immunity system very strong. Well, Rain at least. I don't know about my nephew.
No, no.
So again, you guys are watching Twinness. We just reaching out, talking to Tanika, seeing how she's feeling. We are gonna let her rest because rest is important, and she knows that she has to sleep with her head up a little, body raised a little so she can breathe, not flat on her back. And we want to say thank you to everybody. I'm not throwing you away, Niqi. I'm not throwing you away.
That's
We
okay.
want to say thank you to everybody who's reaching out, who's calling, but at the same time, a text probably would be better because she has to conserve her energy, so she really can't speak on the phone long. Even I don't call her as much as I would normally. I will text her, and even if I don't get a response, I don't care because she's probably too tired to respond. So
Mhm.
I've actually been going through my nephew. So, at the same time, I'm just trying to be considerate that she doesn't feel well. So I'm trying not to call as much. And if she sends me a text, of course, I'm going to read it and respond. But I don't even expect her to text me like that. So if you call her, please don't be offended if she doesn't pick up or if she doesn't call back. She's resting and she's not feeling well.
Even though I don't look like it.
This is true. This is true, which
And
is a
that's
good
the
thing.
thing. That's the thing. I could be in the street right now and no one would ever know that I had COVID. So it's very important for us to keep the public safe. Like I know I have COVID, so I know I can't be in the streets.
And that's the
Uh,
thing. Others will be out in the street, no mask, no nothing. And let me tell you a story, Nikki, just so you could conserve.
mhm.
So I have one of my long time, maybe 11 years clients come in yesterday. Just to say hello, no mask, no nothing. And I already know she's not vaccinated. No big deal, whatever. I don't care. So she asked for an appointment and I said, okay, I can do you next Saturday. So I said, next Saturday, you will have to wear your mask. You can't be in here without a mask. And she said, well, I won't come back until you lift the mask mandate. And I said, well, that's that. So you can't impose on me how you feel, and
Right,
you don't want me to impose on you how I feel.
right,
Well, I'm
right,
saying we wear masks here, but I don't know where you've been. I don't know who you've been around, and
right.
nor do I care. But I know in here, everybody's going to wear masks, and it's about protecting each other.
Right.
So. And she's very vocal that she hasn't had the vaccine, and I don't care that because
Mhm.
I haven't had the vaccine, and I'm very vocal about that. However, since I haven't had the vaccine, protect me, protect you, protect the others that's here.
Mhm.
So that might be a divorce right there with that
Sorry.
client and
I
that's okay.
understand.
I'm okay with
Mhm.
that because
Right.
I'm not gonna go back on
Jeopardize your
what
family.
I
Yeah.
feel. Yes.
Yeah. That's your family that you put in at risk and everything. So yeah.
So yeah, so that was my little blurb, my little story about protecting each other. Like you said, you could be out in the street running around, but you know that you're not well, and that's the responsible thing to do. Taking off, but you have some who cannot afford to take off from work,
I
like you said,
understand.
so they go to work ill. It's
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah. And I know everybody's burnt out. Every profession, not just nursing, but every profession is burnt out, you know.
Yes, yes, yes. So again, you guys are watching Twitness. This is Tisha McDonald. That is Tanika Gillard. This is Naturally Yours and Alternatives Beauty Studio. So my sister's down for the count. She won't be doing no hair this week. Um, she probably won't be doing hair next week either. Right. Because
I
it's
go
2 weeks.
back Sunday.
Next Sunday. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. That'll be 2 weeks off. Which she probably needed anyway, guys. Which she probably needed
I said
anyway.
that too. I said that. I said, well, God probably just telling me to slow down. I do too much as it is. I
Yes.
said that too. I always look for the little blessings, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Might not
Mm-hmm.
feel good. I might need all the rest, you know?
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Is there anything more? Next Sunday, Tanika, next Sunday
Right.
is our show for Foster Care the Fabulous. And we have a guest
Do we?
speaker. Yes, Miss J.
That's next Sunday?
That's next
I gotta put that on
Sunday.
my calendar.
Yes, from foster care to fabulous. And we are going to have Jay Benton. She is in school for her. She graduates in November with her master's in social work.
Wonderful.
So we're going to be talking next Sunday because once a month we will be coming to you with our series from foster care to fabulous. That seems to be what a lot of people like to talk about. And so we're probably going to be doing that every month, once a month at least.
Okay.
So next Sunday.
All right then.
Jay Benton will be our guest, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. I want to say thank you for joining us tonight. And Tanika, get well, get some rest. Thank you for sharing your story and being open with us. Do you have any fevers?
My fevers are low grade. They're low. So they between 98 and 99. Nothing over 100.
Yes, that's what you did say. And that, therefore, that's what caused the chills.
That probably what causes the chills. But when they're looking for COVID, truly, they're looking for anything temp over 100 and O2 sats that are low.
Hmm.
But low in nursing is, below 95. I'm at 100, which
Okay.
is awesome.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for repeating that because you did say that, but I don't know why, you know.
That's okay.
All right, guys. I want to say thank you for joining us. We will see you next Sunday from Foster Care to Fabulous. We will be with our guest. Her name is Jay Benton. She is a social worker for the foster care system, and we're going to have lots of questions for her. And I know she's ready to bring it, and we are ready to bring it as well. So bring all your questions that you may have. And again, if you guys send a message through Twinness, just know I'm not ignoring it. I'm not getting it, but Tanika is getting it, and then I'm responding. So LP, we're going to have you on again. I don't know what our topic is going to be, but we need to have you on again. So we will see you again next Sunday. And Tanika, I will talk to you later. Get some rest. You probably won't hear or get any text or anything from me no time soon. I love you and good night.
Love
Oh,
you.
hey
Thank you,
Renee, you
guys.
just joining us. We're hanging up. We're hanging up. Renee, yeah, we're getting ready to close this down because Tanika has COVID and she is not feeling too well, even though you can't tell by the looks of it. Okay. Well, guys, we're gonna say goodnight. And next Sunday, twin this 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
Mhm.
5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Jay Benton will be our guest. I said that one more time. From Foster Care to Fabulous will be our topic. Everybody loves that series, so we're gonna continue with that at least once a month, and it's probably gonna be every second Sunday of the month. We have the things it was supposed to be the first, but we switched it around, so it's probably going to be every second Sunday of the month. Talk to you guys later. Have a good night.
Good night.